Today on The Explainer, we're unlocking the science of how stories can teach you a new language.
It's a classic problem, right? The answer isn't your memory, it's actually your brain's wiring. Turns out, neuroscience shows our brains treat stories totally differently than just plain old facts.
Okay, think about going to a restaurant. You kind of know the drill, right? That's a schema.
Stories give our brains that same kind of scaffolding, making it way easier to hang on to new words.
And we can actually see it. Brain scans show these networks lighting up, building a narrative to help us remember. But here's where it gets really wild. Your brain actually starts to sync up with the storyteller's. It's called neural coupling. The storyteller's brain patterns are literally copied over into yours.
And it's not just mirroring, you actually start predicting what's coming next. That's a huge part of understanding.
In fact, the better that prediction, the better the comprehension. The correlation here is super strong.
Plus, stories trigger this whole chemical cocktail that makes you focus, feel empathy, and pay attention.
All this means stories get VIP treatment in our brains. We're just built to prefer them over boring facts.
It's the difference between a random vocabulist and learning a word through a character's adventure.
So they boost engagement, give you rich context, and forge a real connection to the language. So how do we use this with adult learners? Well, one great method is called TPRS. TPRS basically ditches the textbooks and uses collaborative stories to make everything stick.
The process is pretty simple. It's a 3-step method for building stories right there with the students. The whole point is massive but fun repetition. You might hear a new word 75 times and not get bored.
The trick for adults? Make stories weird and personal. Get them involved. That's when the learning really happens.
It's about shifting from just listening to actively making meaning. That's how you wire in a new language. So the science is pretty clear. If our brains are literally wired for stories, what are we waiting for?